Welcome back to the Zero Weakness podcast, where we talk about how to be a better lifter, how to be a better coach, and everything in between. Make sure you subscribe and enjoy.
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Zero Weakness podcast. I'm here with myself, Good Dog CJ, and Tom Brosey. We are sponsored by Establishment Coffee Co. So if you want to order some coffee beans, head to establishmentcoffeeco.com.au and use the discount code 025 to get 25% off your next order.
And free shipping.
Fuck, I forgot.
That's definitely not the website. Just Google Establishment Coffee. No one remembers websites and types them in anyway.
Yeah, you just go because it's all there. You just type in establishment, something will come up.
Google it.
Yeah, just type in establishment.
While you're there, Google me.
Yeah.
That's right. Google Zero.
Yeah, fucking A. Google Zero. And give us a rating on Spotify and all that jazz.
I need to plug that.
For a shirt,
That's right. That's right. The August promotion. I want to send me a screenshot, 5 stars on Spotify, go to each of the 4 gyms, Ground Zero, Zero Southside, Zero Brisbane, Zero Mackay, 5 stars on a Google rating with a glowing review. Tell us what you think of Zero. Make sure it's 5 stars. Has to be 5 stars, otherwise you're ineligible. Send us a screenshot of that. I'll send you a free shirt.
Yeah, another one. Get that shirt, guys. Hit them up. All right, we're going to kick things off with a bit of gratitude. What are we grateful for this week, team?
I'm grateful for my car.
Talk to us.
Which car? I haven't seen it.
Neither have I. For a couple of weeks. I haven't had a car for a couple of weeks. As you guys remember, as I was driving out to my parents' place, I hit a kangaroo about a month ago, and my car has been at the smash repairs for about 2 weeks now. And I've been relying on friends and public transport and Ubers to get everywhere, and it just made me realize how grateful I am for my car, and I can't wait to get it back.
It's a good Grady. Good Grady.
Yeah.
CJ.
I'm grateful for the weather.
Ooh.
Well, today's a bit gloomy, but lately, I love cold weather. And being on the Gold Coast, it's, I don't know, I'm not the biggest fan of the heat and humidity, which Gold Coast is very well known for during the summer, but yeah, our winter is just the best, and I'm like soaking it up as much as I can.
Same.
And now that it's past like July, it's only going to get warmer from here.
Yeah.
Even the last few days have been like, oh no, come back. I want it to be as cold as it was a couple of weeks ago.
And
Legit,
you can dress so much more stylish in the wintertime.
Swagged out.
Nice. On the car thing, my phone died earlier this year, so I got a brand new phone, and 3 weeks later the screen just died. It was a common issue for those phones, apparently.
What, Samsung?
Yeah, the new Galaxy.
Yeah.
Okay, live in the dark ages. And for a couple of weeks there, because I had to send it away twice, for a couple of weeks there I was just using like a really, really old Huawei. And like you with the car, it's so cool how we just adapt to whatever circumstances that we're in and make shit work. And then it kind of opens your eyes to how complacent we get with how good we've got things. And that's such a first world problem. But I don't know. It's always good to have those experiences.
Yes.
My gratitude for the week is a well-behaved dog. But he's the man.
He is.
He's a good boy.
He's a good kid.
Best boy.
He's old and grumpy. Like, he's definitely getting more chill as he gets older. But yeah, he's a good boy.
Nice. That's a good Grady. Everyone loves Buddy as well. On that note, you shouldn't bring a dog to the gym unless he's like Buddy.
There is no other dog like Buddy.
Yeah, you're right.
It's actually been kind of challenging over the years because, I'm a dog person. I love dogs. And we get plenty of dog people come in, and then people see me with my dog here, and they've seen you with your dog here until he had to be obviously put away for the violent crimes in which he committed. And so people get comfortable. They're just like, yeah, it's a dog-friendly gym. I'll bring my gym. And then they bring their dogs. And I love dogs, but it's like kids. Like, you love your own kids, and some kids are just annoying.
Yeah.
Out of mine and your dog are the only good dogs that come in here.
Pooch is super chill.
He's like Buddy, just a small version of Buddy. And he bites the boss's face every now and again.
Was Buddy always this chill?
Yeah. He was definitely more playful, and he had really bad separation anxiety when I rescued him for quite a while. But he's always been, super relaxed.
He's a good boy.
All right, my piece of gratitude for the week is the competitions in the weekend. So we ran back-to-back competitions of the weekend, which we'll talk about later on the podcast. We ran the USAPL Gold Coast Classic and our Women of Power competition back-to-back on the Saturday. I'm grateful for hosting competitions here. They used to stress me out, but after running nationals or being a part of that process, those comps are easy.
Was it breeze?
I couldn't believe we, like Friday afternoon set up. Oh, we're done.
Yeah.
Wait, that's it? I forgot how easy they were.
Yeah.
So very grateful for that, but I'm also just very grateful for the opportunity to be able to host those events here at Ground Zero. We've got a beautiful facility that's big enough to cater for how many competitors we have. The biggest comp we've had here is 120 lifters. We always make it work, and I'm just grateful for everyone that gets their hands dirty and helps out.
Yeah, that's the reality, is that the team we've got around us is what makes the comp so good and so easy. Just the people that consistently show up and volunteer their time. We couldn't do it without you people, so thank you so much.
All right, what have we been up to?
Well, we haven't officially spoken about your run.
Yeah.
Have we not?
No.
Oh, sweet.
No, because since
Josh on
then,
last week.
we've had Josh, NRL.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry,
Jordan Kahu.
Jordan. We had Jordan. And I think we had Jordan Shallow after the run. Was the first one, or was that before? I can't remember.
Before. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so we didn't really talk about it then either. We just haven't spoken about it for a while. So how'd you go?
Yeah, good. Really good. I for those that don't know, I ran in a half marathon. I had a 8-week prep from not running for, I don't know however long it was, not running for a very long time. So I had an 8-week prep. In week 1, because I was so unfit, I was running 8 minutes per K for 4 kilometers. By the end of the prep, I was doing, 4-minute 30 per K.
Amazing.
Like speed sessions at like 4:15 per K. I was getting faster. But the half marathon went really well. I ran 1:45. That was my official time. So that's my chip time. Mm-hmm. So chip times with the chip and the bib, and then so when it crosses the start line and then when it crosses the finish line. So like we were talking about, that's how it works. So you wonder, like, when there's a big bunch of people, your official start time is when you cross the line. So you don't have to worry about being at the back of the pack or anything like that. Your official start time is when you cross that line. And yes, I ran sub 145. That's what I want. Well, actually, so my official time was 145. I wanted sub 145, but I actually took a 2-minute toilet break, 2 or 3 minute toilet break at about 12 Ks because it was so busy. I couldn't go toilet before the race. So yeah, but because I stopped my watch while I was in the toilet, so my actual time was like 143, 144. Yes, I was really happy.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's like doing a powerlifting comp and being like, well, I deadlifted 300, but I could have done 320. So really, my total is 20 kilos more.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
All you need,
not the same.
All you need to do now is make a post.
Yeah, it didn't have the day I wanted. Unfortunately, the equipment wasn't
No. You get to do the positive one where it's like, I'm so happy with the result, even given, I only trained for 8 weeks. The conditions weren't perfect, but I'm still really happy with my performance. You get the positive spin.
Yeah, that's good.
Yes.
And I was 88 kilos when I started, and I'm 81 kilos at the moment.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so some body composition gains as well.
You know how it shows the most on you? The shape of your head and the vascularity. You get forehead veins when you're lean.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's sick.
It's really good.
Do you think it's because you can actually see my forehead now because I always wear a hat?
That might have something to do with it. Yeah, that might have something to do with it as well. And you're back on the gram.
Yeah, I'm back.
With a name change.
Yeah, the rebrand.
Different handle.
Rebrand,
yes. Yeah. Just trying to be a little bit more mindful of my social media use. I thought, being off social media as an online coach, some people message me as a joke, like, don't you have to be online to be an online coach? And I thought, yes, if this hinders it for an extended period of time, I'd have to get back on there. But I've got more online clients now.
Yeah, it's interesting.
So joke's on you guys.
I think because a lot of people speak of the value of social media, people tend to overvalue it. And from a business perspective, like, don't get me wrong, it's fucking important and it's an amazing tool. Like, there is a lot of positive. There's some negative. I'd say it's overwhelmingly positive. but I think we overvalue it. And this is me speaking personally as well. I went through a phase last year where I wanted to delete it for ages. And every time I went to, I'm like, no, I'm just going to wait till this. I'm going to wait till I advertise the next coach development, or I'm going to wait till this comp is done or that's done. And so I never did. And in that time, I'm like, you know what? I might just lean into it a bit harder. So I went for a push on social media, and I've slowed down. I need to pick it back up if I'm actually gonna try and put some effort into it. For me, it's just an outlet to put content out there because I don't do any other form of content besides this stuff.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. For me, it was a little bit overwhelming at times. Yeah, I just felt obliged to reshare all this stuff and do all this, and people talked. I just needed to get rid of it, and it was the best break. And now I'm way more mindful of it. If you want to talk to me, send me a message or give me a call. Don't have to message me on Instagram.
So being more mindful, what does that look like? Like, do you have actual parameters in place where you try not to scroll as much or spend as much time on it? Like, are you actually doing anything different?
Yeah. So during the day, like at work, I'll probably check it on my lunch break or when I sit down and have a coffee.
Good.
I already did that before. But they're not logged in, so I have to log into it. Even the Zero Weakness page, like I have to actually log in to use it, which is a pain in the ass. So I very rarely check it. I'll open it, have a quick scroll, and that's it. So I'll probably use it for about 5 minutes a day now.
Yeah, nice.
Whereas before, like I'm sure we're all guilty of it. You can just sit, anytime you go do something, you might go take a shit, you'll bring your phone, you'll scroll. Anytime you get a spare moment, you're waiting in line for a coffee, you'll scroll. It's like a time filler. So I'm just way more mindful of it now. If I go get a coffee, I have to bring my phone actually, but I'm just like, okay, cool. Just be present. You don't need to be fucking scrolling mindlessly just because you're not doing anything with your hands.
For sure.
Yeah, sweet.
With the run, you know how you said you took a toilet break? When you took a toilet break, because you'd run for 12 Ks already?
Yep.
Did your legs kind of seize up a little bit, or the lactic acid kind of while you were just standing still or sitting there?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So my legs only started getting heavy at around like the 16K mark. So my goal was to run a negative split. Split is where you run the second half of the race faster than the first. So at 12 Ks, when I needed to go toilet, I've already run 1K at like 4:45. So I wanted to run faster, but I actually wanted to run way faster than that. I wanted to run around 4:35 per K. But once I got to 16, I ended up having to like straight leg run kind of because my legs was locked up. I was getting a little bit crampy. And like I was really well prepared as well. Like I had maybe 1,000 milligrams of sodium in the morning of race. During the race, I consumed about 200 grams of carbs and about 300 milligrams of sodium. So yeah, you just can't help it. It's just one of those things.
How are you taking the sodium?
So pre-race, I got these little tablets that dissolve in water, and then during the run, I got these gels. And in each gel, there's like, depending what ones you buy, but they're just loaded with sodium and carbohydrates.
Yeah, nice. This is probably a pedestrian question, but how do people warm up?
So this is crazy to think about. So like for when we do a long run, so let's say we've got a tempo 18K run or whatever, we'll do a 3K warm up. So 3K easy Ks, really slow Ks. It's what people call a Kenyan shuffle. So you're just shuffling your feet, just getting on your feet for an extended period of time. 3Ks at a shuffle is probably like 6 minutes 30 per K, so it's really slow. Yeah. And then you'll do 1K worth of strides. So 1K worth of strides at 100 meters each, you do 100 meters at probably race pace. And then after that, you'll just stretch and swing your legs around and all that jazz.
So I guess what I mean is like on these big races, there's thousands of people. Are they all warming up on the track?
Nah, it was really weird. Like when I was warming up, we had a really short warm up because we got there pretty late and we didn't expect us to be having to do so much walking around. But some people are just standing around and jumping up and down. I think it's because I was doing a proper warm up because I like training. I really like training. So I enjoy the intricacies. I want to do everything properly, like in powerlift. If you guys did running, you guys would be the exact same. Before bench press, you do some shoulder stability stuff, things like that. Where these guys, majority of these guys are just running for fun. Yeah. So they're just standing on the spot, jumping up and down. They do a few of the classic, those ones. Yeah. And things like that. But yeah, you want to just get in some strides and it's weird. There's plenty of space to warm up.
Okay, so you don't actually warm up on the track, but you just find some space and
Yeah.
go for a bit of a pander around.
How did you feel in the days after? What was your recovery like?
It was pretty sweet.
Yeah.
I was a little bit sore. My toes were tender. I've got some black toes still, toenails that are ready to fall off. But nah, it's sweet. I've run that distance before.
That's a thing
Yeah, your toes just get fucking beat up.
from running.
Even basketball players, rugby players, everyone that's fucking.
Damn.
There's one of the big things with like the ultra guys.
Yeah.
A lot of the reasons why people will drop out of those sort of races aren't because they run out of energy. It's because they run into problems like that. Like their feet just get destroyed, like massive blisters or whatever. And
Yeah, I couldn't believe how. So I've got one toe that's still black, but I couldn't run for like pretty much the week because of that one toe. I'm like, fuck, how do these guys do it? It was like excruciating. Like I couldn't wear certain shoes because it was touching my toe.
you got to callous the mind.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Callous the mind.
I think I get really bad, like chronic compartment syndrome, like really bad pumps on the outside of my calves when I'm heavier. So I get them real bad at the moment, like 300 meters into my walk, I want to quit. And I say that to myself so often as a joke, but I'm like, and there's a crossroad that I come to in my walk where one option is up this massive hill and the other one is around this hill where it's a lot flatter. And I never take the flat route, but I always get there and be like, I'm going the flat route. I'm like, callous mine, straight up the hill.
Do your calves look sick though when they're pumped full of blood?
They look weird. It's like massive lumps on the outside of my leg. Like that muscle there, it's called your perineal. That just gets full. And it stops moving. Like my foot doesn't move like that anymore. It just like pounds flat.
Yeah, fuck. All right. Tom, bro, before we get into some more positive things, have you got a grievance for us?
Not really. I don't really like the grievance anymore. I prefer the gratitude.
I like that. That's sick.
But however, just the comp food again. Like no one left anything good.
Yeah.
Buddy got a free dinner. He had dinner last night, some mince and rice that someone left behind, and I got a free container. Is it one of your foods in there, or was it from the comp? That's like rice and burnt like patties.
It's not.
Oh, that's in there now?
Yeah.
Nah, that's Nicole's.
Which Nicole?
Kerselix.
From the comp?
Nah, she's downstairs. Did you see Nick?
No. Yesterday.
Oh.
No.
There's like a
Patty.
have a look later. There's like this cardboard tub and it's full of rice, sweet chili sauce, and these two like I don't know what they are, like chicken rissoles, and they have just been obliterated. So whoever you are,
Well done.
learn how to cook.
There's a reason why they left it in the fridge.
Yeah, no wonder why you didn't eat it. All right.
What if they had a bad performance, They went to go fuel up between lifts and like, fuck, I can't eat this.
Just charcoal.
Yeah.
How do you live like this?
That's a good grievance. All right. What have you guys been up to?
I registered for Strength Quest.
Let's
Hey.
go.
I said I wasn't going to compete again this year, but I saw there was a bunch of people from Zero that are doing it, and I got really excited. I just want to have a fun comp.
All
So
right.
I'm going to do
sick.
Strength Quest.
James
so.
looks like me and you are spotting, loading, reffing because all the help's doing the comp.
Everyone is,
Oh, I feel sick actually. I don't think I can make it that day.
I'm going to lay the foundation now.
It's a big comp. We got 60 lifters.
Yeah,
We've
it's
already
full.
we've filled it up, so we'll put out a waiting list. But yeah, it's going to be one of our double comps. It'll be one of our move all the equipment outside comps,
Perfect.
Nice.
hire some chairs, make it a bit bigger. If I can figure out this barbecue, I'll do some brisket. We'll sell some brisket on the day. That'll be cool.
Nice, that's such a good idea.
How good.
Mm.
Tom, bro, what have you been up to?
Just training.
You're ripping into your training too,
Yeah, I'm feeling very uncomfortable with the size I am.
Yeah?
Like life hurts. I've just gotten too big too quickly and just back pumps. I'm sick of the back pumps.
Yeah?
Get out of bed and I walk to the bathroom and I'm like, oh, my back's pumped already. But it's good. I'm having a lot of fun. I'm enjoying training like this. What have I been up to? If people follow me on Instagram, they would have seen me put up a bit of a hype story yesterday. A couple of random colored Zero logos, maybe signifying 2 more gyms coming. Don't know.
Maybe.
I think that's taking up a lot of my time and energy at the moment. Is just continuing to do that. I've gone into business with someone else on another company unrelated to powerlifting. So there's a little bit happening behind the scenes there. APL's kicking off big time as well. There's just lots of things happening.
That's sick.
Exciting.
Do you refer to yourself as a business mogul now?
No, never.
Why not?
Mogul. That word is so.
That's the best, eh?
Mogul.
Because I'm a business baby.
Oh,
There's a lot to learn. A lot to learn.
CJ.
Yeah, same. Just been training. Really enjoying the volume training I'm doing. Starting to shorten my workouts, shorten my rest periods, and yeah, things are a lot more sore, but it's a nice, so it's like an accomplished kind of sore.
Well, that's what happens when you do accessories.
Yeah, yeah, and it.
Hold on. What are you shortening rest periods on?
Top sets?
Everything now.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
How long were they before?
They were very, I was here for a very long time.
So we've gone from half an hour to 20 minutes.
No, honestly, a lot less than that. A lot less than that.
But now he's spending more time filming every accessory.
Yeah.
That was a one-off. I don't want to do that every time. It's so much
keep
work.
doing it.
But yeah, especially like bench days, you can really shorten them down, and I've been enjoying that. Doing that at the UFC gym, and then like I can hit a bag for longer, and doing that like more rounds of hitting a bag, and then sauna. Like I'm really enjoying this very different, I guess, feeling. But yeah, getting a pump on.
Are you weighing yourself?
No,
You must be losing weight with all the extra work,
I guess so.
unless you're eating more.
No, I'm eating the same. I can see my body's changed. I'm a lot like wider up top, which is nice.
Nice.
But yeah.
That's what you want.
Baby.
Get jacked and juicy. What have I been up to? I've been just plotting along, scheming, doing my thing.
Scheming.
Yeah, no, I'm not really. I don't know.
Scheming.
Just trying to sound cool.
Don't worry.
What am I doing? Got a few more online clients, got a few more face-to-face clients, so getting busier here. I've been running, lifting, and swimming.
Do you think you'd do a try?
Yes, that's the goal.
Do you have a bike?
No, they're very expensive.
Talk to Josiah.
Oh, yeah.
I probably have one you can use too.
Yeah, you do actually.
Yeah.
You want to borrow my BMX? Got stolen.
Everyone's inside is in a.
No, I've been looking. I'm looking every day to bike.
You should talk to Mike Kingston.
Really?
Yeah, he's like ex-semi-professional cyclist. He's got tons of them.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will. I actually will.
He rides from the suburb that he lives in to Southside. It's a very long ride.
Yeah, shit.
He's all over
Dang.
it. Talk to him.
Yeah, well, and yeah, so swimming, being Filipino, being half Asian, you don't really get the pleasure of learning how to swim as a child. They don't put any, I feel like Filipino parents, or I don't know if it's Asian parents, they don't put a lot of, they don't see swimming as like a thing. Because I don't know any Filipinos that can swim.
What about the Islander side?
Nah, but they can do bombs. So,
Yeah, that's it.
they're good at jumping in the water, like making big splashes, but they can't swim.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I started my swimming journey, I don't know how long ago. But so week 1, I did 450 meters in 46 minutes. Now I can do I did 625 in 16 minutes.
I love how when you're passionate about something, how statistical you are.
Yeah.
Like you remember every number of every session, or like when you first started training here and you were deep in the powerlifting throws, you knew every lifter and every single PB that they had. You're so statistical. I love it.
Yeah, I still do. I still remember everyone's numbers. I can still rattle off everyone's PBs, everything. That's what I've always done. Yeah, I'm a numbers guy. But
Numbers guy.
I don't know. Can I say that? Because I can't actually do maths.
No, you can be a numbers guy without being able to do maths.
Yeah, sweet. All right, I'm a numbers guy. Yeah, that's it. All right, let's get into, before our topic, let's recap the competition that we had in the weekend.
Yeah, so we ran the Queensland's first ever USAPL meet. Basically, the opportunity came up a little while ago for us to host a USAPL meet. Josh Takur is the state chair, and he trains at Zero Gyms. So he had a conversation with me, and I first off said no, and then I considered from both a business perspective and a removal of bias perspective, and just thought, okay, well, we're in a good position to give lifters a good competition for the first one in Queensland. So I put my hand up. We ran the first one. It was relatively small. We had quite a few interstate lifters as well, but overwhelmingly it was a success. It was a really fun day. Everyone enjoyed it. And we had Women of Power straight after our annual female-only comp. I think we had 20-ish lifters, maybe a little bit more in that one too. It was a super efficient day though.
Mm-hmm.
Like we started at 9 and we finished by 3 with 2 competitions.
Finished before 3.
Yeah, it was a great day. Lots of fun. What were the highlights for you guys?
Ocean. Rose. She's amazing. Hasn't even reached her full potential.
Yeah, so keep your eyes on a lifter. Keep your eyes on a lifter called Ocean. You've probably not heard of her or seen her lifting, but this woman could be. She can go places in powerlifting. She's been lifting for 7 months? She, actually started lifting, not just powerlifting, but going to the gym in
Started
February.
lifting in February, yeah.
Yeah. And what were the numbers? 225 squat?
225 squat, which
No
was
belt.
high bar.
No belt, no sleeves. High bar.
And it's fast.
It was probably an Rpe 6.
Yeah. And deep.
Yeah.
Very nice squat.
Very nice.
She benched 122
Yep.
and she pulled 210.
Unreal.
Yeah.
Unreal. Yeah, so what was it? Close to 550 or 555, something like that.
575.
I don't
She's
No,
only
that was
22 as
Yeah,
well.
she's 22.
So young.
Whatever it was, though, it's a super heavyweight total record in Australia.
Yeah, so I know she's got some events on later in the year, but I spoke to Daniel and I was like, man, we got to get her to do Worlds. So hopefully we can get her into the October comp and then get her into the IPL Worlds and make some noise there. But very, very, very talented young lifter with a bright future if she chooses to pursue it for sure.
She's such a sweetheart, too.
So nice.
It was pretty cool seeing everyone get around her as well. So, when she'd go lift, everyone in the warm-up room would come and crowd around, just wanting to see her. Because it was a joke how fast she moved those squats. And it was funny. So after her opener, 200 kilos, like we said before, high bar, beltless, no sleeves. When she walked out the back, you could just see all the guys kind of calculating. Have I ever done that?
It was so good. And so she did one of our novice comps earlier in the year and she was so nervous. So it was really cool to see her a lot more relaxed and enjoying the day. Daniel Tevi and the Grind Fitness Unit crew, they're just such a cool bunch of people.
They were awesome. They're all so nice.
So nice. Brought a big team. Love those guys.
Yeah, he brings. I love how he brings. He packs out the place every comp.
Yeah.
And they're all super friendly, and they're all super strong as well.
Yeah.
Super strong. All his lifters were mega strong. It was awesome.
I remember he's like, "Oh, I've got a chick that just started lifting. I'm gonna bring her down." I'm like, "Bro, she fucking deadlifted 160. That's
You mean she
stupid."
just started lifting? People are chasing this their whole lives. So good.
Yeah. So USAPL comp, Women of Power. Anything else you wanna? Actually, no. I'm gonna shout out a couple of my clients that competed.
Yep.
So I had Rpe Kingsford, who's just been he's been a steam train lately. He's just been on a roll for, I'm not too sure how long I've coached him, but he's just progressed every single block since I coached him. So yeah, he's been on a really good roll. He PB'd his total in a different federation with different rules. So he PB'd his total on a stiff bar and in sleeves. So he squatted 200 in sleeves. His last comp he squatted 200 in reps, which is I'd like to see what his rep squat would be now.
Yeah.
He benched. We missed our third, so he hit 127, but he deadlifted 245, which is a huge PB. So he ended up totaling 575.
Yeah, his previous deadlift was 230 or 232 on a deadlift bar.
Yep. Yeah, so on a stiff bar, he pulled 245. And he's a weapon. He knows how to grind out a lift as well.
Yeah.
He's one of those guys that can do that. He's like Paris Kazani. It might take 5 minutes for him to lock it out, but he'll just hold on to it the entire time. And yeah, he's a weapon. Yep. So really stoked with his efforts. And my other online client, Aaron Armstrong, he had a really good meet too. It was his first meet, so first official meet. He did the Women of Power. Really proud of his efforts, even though he was sick. Sorry.
Did the USAPL.
You said he did Women of Power.
Women of Power. Sorry, Aaron. Yeah, so Aaron Armstrong did the
Still
USAPL.
didn't win.
You wouldn't have won that either, CJ.
I would have got smoked.
None of us would have.
But Aaron Armstrong, he had a really good meet. He actually got really sick about a week ago. So to still come in total 500 kilos in his first meet,
Nice.
going 6 for 9 is pretty good. So we got lots of room to improve. So we're going to look for something at the end of the year to work towards.
We had a couple of other gym members competing. So we had Hazza.
Tamara.
Oh,
She
yes.
did so good.
Another one of my face-to-face clients. She did awesome. She totaled 297.5 in the Women of Power.
That was her first powerlifting comp as well, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she did amazing. And she's such a great lifter. She's going to be really good if she's got, if she wants to stick at this, she could, be pretty good.
Didn't she deadlift PB by 20 kilos or something?
Yep. 120. And then her squat was a PB as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then her bench was,
Missed 77 twice. Got it up the
Yeah.
first time, but
yeah.
big bar
Those
dip in the middle.
dip, yeah.
But no, she was really stoked with the performance anyway.
Yeah. That
Sorry.
was awesome weekend.
I cut you off. We had Hazza. Who else?
We had the other young guy.
Michael Sue.
Michael,
Yeah.
yeah. Michael, he had a good day as well.
Yeah, he did.
He's actually
Yeah.
strong.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you surprised?
Because I've never really watched him lift.
Yeah,
And he's quite jacked, eh?
yeah.
Yeah.
Me and Bridget saying he's got a massive chest.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he trains weird times. Inconsistent times. Sometimes real late at night, sometimes like middle of the day.
Yeah.
He's been wearing a soft suit for like 6 weeks,
Yeah.
getting ready for the
All
day.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I told you, I don't know if I said this on the podcast, but he walked into the gym wearing his soft suit. And I was like, oh, you've been wearing that all day, brother? And he's like, yeah.
To uni, right?
He wore it to
Yeah.
uni. I was like, oh,
What a mad dog.
that's
Shout
very
out.
brave.
Shout out, Michael. Well done.
Sweet. All right. Well, if anyone else has got anything to add to the recap, I'm going to move on.
Let's do it.
So our topic for the day is, what is a good workout? And how do we measure how do we measure we had a good workout? Tom, bro, you want to kick things off?
Well, first, I wanted to ask you where this actually came from. Like, what made you think of this question?
So lately I've been having a bit of a internal battle with my weights training. So because I'm trying to detach myself from a number on the bar, it's a little bit difficult when you're trying to get back into it. So, before I'd do easy sets at 10 at 100 kilos on the bench press, and now I'm doing easy sets at 85, 90. And so for me, that's where it kind of came from. I'm like, hey, I still had a really fucking good workout. The number doesn't really determine, isn't the determining factor of what a good workout is. That's where it came from, but we can dive way deeper into this. And
Yeah, for sure. Because I think so much of it is mental, right? It's so much more to do with the mindset that you bring to training and how you define things. Like it sounds a little bit eclectic, but that's the reality of it. It's kind of like if you compare it to nutrition, we won't even do that yet. Just think of training, right? It's like we all know, everyone training knows that to get the result, it takes work over time. Like you're not going to do one session and wake up next day shredded and jacked. That's just not how it works. We all know it takes time. And so to try and measure the outcome based on one tiny little snapshot in time, that would be like me starting today and being like, in 6 months, I want to be 20 kilos lighter, and then eating one meal and be like, I wonder what I weigh. That's what measuring a good session kind of feels like. However, there is some objective measures that I guess we can take as to whether or not the session's been effective, but it's almost irrelevant. Like it's almost pointless because it's more about accuracy over time or consistency over time. Like if your measurement of whether a session is effective is how fucked you are when you walk out of the gym, you can push that up. But within 1 week of training, you need a deload. You've overworked. So you shouldn't walk out of the gym feeling like you've absolutely obliterated yourself every time, because you can't build any momentum doing that. By the same token, if you feel like you walk out of the gym feeling like you never went to the gym in the first place, you're probably not doing enough. And so it is really hard to come up with objective measures of what a good session feels like. Really, the measure is, did you go in and do what you needed to do? Did you hit the numbers, the intensities, the relative intensities that you needed to hit on each exercise? And is each exercise in that program structured in a way that you know is going to work, either based on experience or based on what your coach has given you or whatever it may be? that's, for me, that's it. That is the mark of a good session. Like, did you complete it? That's it.
Yeah. We can go down the other end of the pendulum as well. We can say, did I enjoy that workout? Like, there's other ways we can measure a workout. We don't always have to look at it from the elite standpoint of, did I complete my workout? Do you know what I mean? Yeah, that's very important that we do have like a structured plan in place, that we do, you know, if we've got a structured plan in place, did we hit the sets and reps? Yes, we did. Good workout. But yeah, like I said, there's other ways we can measure a good workout. One of them is enjoying your workout. That's where your relationship with your coach and your program, you know, you can manipulate those things to make it more enjoyable for yourself. Are you doing exercises that you actually enjoy? Yes, there are some exercises that you have to do because they are beneficial for you, specifically for the sport of powerlifting. But that's one thing that I always come down to is, especially with my face-to-face clients, did they enjoy their session?
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, like, that is important to take stock into, because then when you look at that over time, that sense of accomplishment, enjoyment, whatever you want to call it, is what then drives someone to come back. And it's like the consistency that then drives the progress, even if the programming isn't that great. So absolutely, I think that's a factor to take into account. As long as, you know, you recognize as a lifter that you won't enjoy every single session. You know, you shouldn't, just like, you know, some sessions are great because you are fucked after it, but every single session shouldn't be like that.
Yeah,
some
100%.
sessions are great because you had the best time. Every single session is not going to be like that.
Yeah. It's also identifying, as a coach, it's also identifying the client's needs.
For
Is
sure.
my client coming to me for a good time? Are they coming to hang out and, you know, get a sweat up, get a little bit of a pump? You know, then we're going to do that. But if their goal is to be a really great powerlifter, they're not going to enjoy everything that we do.
Please don't advertise like that, though. Call me for a good time. I don't know if I stand behind that in the zero advertising methodology.
Oh, that's so good.
Call Handy for a good time.
But yeah, Thomas said before, like the chasing fatigue thing. You know, it's a very old school bro way to train. Like, I'm sure we all did it when we first started training. We'd walk in, train chest, and we'd absolutely obliterate our pecs by, you know, drop setting everything, going to failure and everything and things like that.
I think over time people have, you know, I don't even know. With general population, maybe not so much, but definitely people in our industry, coaches and everything, like, we know that getting a crazy pump every time or feeling really domsy after every session doesn't actually define whether or not a session's been effective. And I think that's a thing that people look for, is like, how do I feel the next day? I judge the session based on that. And again, it doesn't matter. It's like saying fish oil is a really good supplement. So you take fish oil and you're looking to feel different. And if you don't feel different, you're like, this doesn't work for me. So, well, that's not how supplements work. It's not how training works. You don't feel something or see something straight away. It's little doses over time.
It's a very common strategy that's used in the S&C world with professional athletes is, you know, their schedules change day to day, is at the end of their sessions rating their session on an Rpe scale, how hard it was. Was that session an 8? Is that session a 9? Was that a 10? Was that too hard? All right, now we need to adjust your next session on the fly if we're going to play on Saturday, kind of thing. So that's another way you can, I guess you could judge a workout as well with an Rpe scale. I know Jamie Timms at Zero Brisbane, he does that with a lot of his clients, his athletes. He'll get them to rate their session at the end, give them a rating, and, you know, they'll talk through about why was it too hard? What did we do that drove that much fatigue? And it's good for the coach as well, for planning wise, like what to do next time. How can I reduce the volume? How can I reduce set intensity?
It's really interesting using that example because it really highlights the difference between something like powerlifting and strength and conditioning. Like in strength and conditioning, the strength training aspect for an athlete is the accessory. And so we need to monitor, okay, how do you feel after this session? So we know to buffer what we're doing to make sure that this athlete can still perform. Whereas I can tell everyone from, you know, a decade or more of experience coaching lifters at the highest level, knowing that stuff doesn't actually change too much. It's more the bigger picture that matters. And the reason that's the case is that, like you were just highlighting, the athlete's schedule is so much more generally inconsistent in terms of load and fatigue based on where they are preseason, season, off season, whatever, versus a powerlifter's schedule, which is almost always super consistent because we do so little training, and that training is very controlled and very consistent. Like there's not a lot, even the slight differences that you have program to program, there's not actually a lot that changes that much. And so monitoring that session to session fatigue, it helps give you data for sure. But the question is like, how useful is that data and what do you do with that data? And if you're too reactive, you end up with a program that's inconsistent. And so it's like you're collecting data session to session, but that data then cancels out the overwhelming data of like, what does block to block look like? You know, because you're like, oh no, you're feeling fatigued this session, I better change everything next session. Maybe they just had a bad day.
Yeah.
Maybe they just didn't sleep well the night before. Like being too reactive and then gathering that data actually becomes anti-data, becomes bad.
Yeah.
So it's always the thing with any sort of data collection is like, what the fuck do we do with it?
Yeah, that's like obviously if you're peaking for a competition, whether it be powerlifting, sprinting, what else is a peaking sport? High jump, long jump. You know, where you're peaking.
Are there other sports?
Do you know what I mean? Like, obviously during a peak, fatigue's going to be in an all-time high. You can't change that. Well, you can change it a little bit, but you know, you can't really change what you're doing. You know, fatigue's going to be high. Just because you're feeling shitty doesn't mean you can't do that session. You know, because you're peaking for a particular day, a particular time where you need to be your strongest, you need to be your fastest. So yeah, like you said, Thomas, sometimes that data is a little bit too much, and you know, we could be doing a disservice to the athlete by changing things on the fly all the time.
I mean, like it's different strokes with different folks as well. Like, don't let me. If you're a coach that collects data or coaching yourself and you like to look at that individual data and tracking and everything like that, don't let me discourage you. Just ask yourself the question. Challenge yourself with, what does this mean? What do I do with it? Do I have to action it? Because for me, I do collect data. I just do it on a block to block basis. I don't do it on a week to week basis because it's less relevant. And if there is data that needs to be collected from a week, it comes up in client interaction. People say, I'm feeling really trash this week. I'm not hitting my numbers. And then I can do something about that. But if I look for that data and I make changes too early or too reactively, I can really impact the momentum that we have. And that's just knowing and understanding your own programming style. The more that you do, the more that you understand your own programming style and how that affects individuals of different shapes and sizes, experience levels, etc., the less data you need to collect because you've already got a predictive set of data there for you. Anyway, that's getting overcomplicated. To answer the question, like I'm going to sit on my answer, which is like, for me, the mark of a good session is, did you complete it? And did you complete it to the parameters defined? And if you did, you're winning. And if you don't have parameters defined, it's like James said, you know, you probably don't have parameters defined if you're maybe a little bit less serious. And if that's the case, did you enjoy the session? Does it make you want to come back? Does it give you a sense of fulfillment? That's it.
You can always move the goalposts if something doesn't go your way. Let's say if I didn't hit my numbers, did I get a sick bicep pump? Yes, I did. Did I do one more rep on this accessory? Yes, I did. I progressed in some way. But that's pretty much all I got.
Sick.
Sweet. Tom, bro, you got some questions for us?
Yeah, we still got a little bit of time left. So I put a question box on my Instagram yesterday, and I got a few people throw some stuff out there. What would you guys say to this? Should you train at a powerlifting gym when you don't powerlift?
Absolutely.
1,000%.
This community's for everybody.
What's a powerlifting gym?
That's what I mean. Any gym you go to, everyone does squat, bench, deadlift. You might as well squat, bench, deadlift on really good equipment. That's what I reckon. But I don't know. I feel like we're all inclusive, and I feel like we're at that. We've got more general population that just enjoy their strength training than we do powerlifters.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Across the whole of Zero.
Yep.
That's what I tell everybody when they ask about this gym. I'm like, you don't have to be a power lifter. We've got kids that train here. We've got older people. We've got Graham. She's 74. She comes in 3 times a week and smashes it. Yeah, it's for everyone. Yeah.
It's funny because like powerlifting is just a sport. And powerlifting, the sport is made up of strength training using squat, bench, deadlift. So if I'm talking about what Zero is to a powerlifter, it's a powerlifting gym. If I'm talking about Zero to everyone else, it's a strength training gym. Because powerlifting is strength training, same thing. It's just the label in the sport, right?
Yeah.
And so strength training is great. Like everyone knows that strength training is beneficial for people of all ages, all goals. So if you don't do powerlifting, should you train at Zero?
Yes.
Fuck yes, you should.
1,000%. You don't question. You don't ask yourself before you jump in a swimming pool, am I a swimmer? Do I have to be a swimmer to jump in this pool? No, you don't. Just like you shouldn't have to ask yourself, do I have to be a powerlifter to train at Zero? Because you definitely don't. It's all inclusive, baby.
I think it's so important. I even lean on the more extreme biases. Everyone should at least have trained in a powerlifting gym. And my reason is because powerlifting is literally the sport. You take so seriously like your form and technique and things like that, which I wish I had that as a base instead of kind of just trying to figure it out going to a commercial gym. You don't really know what you're doing. And just like, Thomas always says that the strongest way to lift something is the safest way. And I think that like coming here was almost like being open to new eyes, like, oh, this is how you should do cables and dumbbells and this and that. Like I think everyone should come through and learn like the proper technique on everything and the safest way to do things.
Yeah. And
what better way to do it than at a place that literally does it for the sport?
Very true.
Awesome. Aryan is currently the longest standing online client of Zero.
Before Tom Hardy?
Yeah, I think he's before Tom Hardy. I'd have to check the stats on that, but I'm pretty sure he is. Anyway, Aryan's been with us forever. Aryan is a legend. He's done online coaching. He did the coach development course. Aryan asks, how close should your close grip bench be and why?
Well, I don't know if you've seen some of my program, Thomas. I always put close and then in brackets grip.
Closer grip.
Yeah.
So closer than your regular grip.
Yes.
So I agree with that. I think close grip is just defined by being closer than your regular grip. I mean, like it comes down to the purpose. At Zero, we program closer grip benching for the purpose of taking shoulders through more range. Like it's a variation of the same movement that allows the shoulders to go through more range, so we can challenge that extra range and work on controlling the shoulder position. I don't program it with the logic of like, yeah, it's going to help your tricep strength and tricep strength. Fuck that. It's a bench press, and we're doing it as like the equivalent of a deficit deadlift or something like that. Is there too close? I would say yes, there is too close, and it's similar to like a squat stance or a deadlift stance being too close to the point where the legs or the knees are bowing outside of the ankles. So same thing on a bench press. If the elbows are bowing outside of the wrists, then the close grip is too close. And so it kind of raises the question of like, what if your regular bench grip is like in so far as any closer is too close? I would just define your regular grip as like closer grip benching, and then the accessory to that would be a wider grip bench. That's all I do for people that have their competition bench press grip in as what I'd define as a close grip bench. I just make them do wider grip bench as the accessory instead. And the purpose there is that the closer you go, the more what's called body proximation, just things hitting other things, automatic stability that you get. The wider you go, the more exposed you are, the harder it is to stabilize because you have to create that stability. So it just challenges that. It's just doing the opposite, developing the opposite attribute. But most people who are competing in powerlifting don't have a base grip that's that close anyway. So they can come in a bit closer.
What is the closest grip you've seen? Or what is, like, who still benches with a very, very close grip that you know
of? That we coach? Oh, I don't know. Father's Day. Yeah, Brett Walland had a very close grip for a long time.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, he did.
Not a very close grip, but what I would define as like close grip, like an accessory for him for a long time was wider grip tempo benching. And then gradually he moved his grip out wider and hit some PBs. And unfortunately, just recently he tore his pec off the bone. So he's just had surgery. Where are we now? July. He had surgery maybe 6 or 7 weeks ago. He benched the bar this week for the first time. So congratulations, Brett, on the mend. Having a really good recovery, so good on him.
I can't wait to see him bounce back because he's a weapon, eh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Great bencher.
Absolutely. Otherwise, most people who end up in powerlifting chasing a bigger bench end up with a medium to wider grip bench because it's where you end up moving the most weight. That's just the reality of it.
Sweet.
Yes.
All right. You got any more questions or nah?
I do. Some of them would require a much longer conversation. Let's just do this one. Thoughts on cluster sets for strength. What do you guys reckon?
I don't know much about
Yeah, I don't know what they are.
it.
We don't program that.
A cluster set is like, we might give CJ a cluster of like 5, which is where you do 5 reps, but you have a 20 to 30 second break in between each rep. So you might do a deadlift, step back, wait 30 seconds, go in, do another one. The head of USAPL coaching team, I don't know if he's still involved, but he was the head coach for when it was the IPF for years and years and years and years. He was a huge believer of this on deadlifts and had some logic around elasticity in muscles and the fact that it's a common occurrence for people to do rep 1 of a deadlift and rep 2 to feel like garbage, to rep 2 to feel way better because they can mechanically load into it. And so to get used to doing the first rep the best, they would program cluster sets. So
And how heavy are we talking on these sets, like in percentages?
Similar to what you do for a set of 5.
Yeah.
Maybe even a bit heavier.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just depends on the coach and the goal and everything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've actually only ever seen coaches program them for deadlifts. I've never actually seen anyone do them for bench and squats.
I guess it's because, a bench and a squat has so much more setup time.
Yeah.
That'd be horrible.
And unless you're a modern day Instagram lifter, in which case you do a stupid like floppy arm dance around sumo setup. Setup takes 45 seconds.
We saw a few of them in the weekend.
Clusters probably aren't the best option for you. I'm a fan of if you think you can put an exercise in and justify its presence in the program and have a good logic behind it, it's a good exercise. My opinion on any of this sort of stuff is it a good exercise, yes or no? If it is, great, it's an option. Can I find a better option? If I can find a better option, I'm going to choose that because I want the best outcome. So personally, I think there are better options than cluster sets because I'm a big fan of work. I believe if you do more work overall over time, and however you choose to define that, more sets, more reps, more weight, whatever, if you do more work, you will get stronger, you will get bigger, and I think a cluster set can potentially limit the amount of work that you can do overall. However, I think they can have their time in place. I'm just not going to program them anytime soon.
Sweet.
That's what I would say.
Nice.
But like the cluster set alone, like the question, cluster sets for strength, what are your thoughts? It's like you can do anything for strength. Like do reverse band deadlifts, do banded deadlifts, do deadlifts with chains, do all the stuff that people say, oh, that's no good, there's better options now. Doesn't mean you can't get stronger doing it. I just think there's better options to get stronger.
100%. Sweet. Well, that's about us for the Zero Weakness podcast. Thanks for tuning in. Tombo, tell them, did anyone get a shirt for doing the ratings?
No, because we haven't actually released anything. We'll put that, chop that snippet out and chuck that on the Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah, so people know that it's even happening.
Yeah.
Hopefully this releases in time, but I've got 2 upcoming workshops, one in Ireland and one in Wales. I'll put that all over Instagram and people can sign up to that. If you're an international listener, please come and say hello. That'd be really cool.
Sweet. Thanks for tuning in. Give us 5 stars on Spotify. Yeah, YouTube, all that jazz.
Sick. See yous.
Thank you so much for listening to the Zero podcast. If you want more information, head to our Instagram, Zero_weakness. Hit the link in the bio for all of our services and any information on upcoming workshops and events. Don't forget to leave us a 5-star review so we can have a broader reach and answer more people's questions. Thank you once more.